What's going on, y'all? We're back with another video. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we're going to be looking at the biggest what-ifs in UFC history. So if I missed one, y'all let me know. I did not include any 1990s, early 2000s UFC Zuffa ones, so y'all let me know what I missed. I just got the ones in recent memory, or the ones that come to my mind. Starting off first, as you can see on the screen, we got Zabit Magomedsharipov. I hate what happened to this dude. This man was so exciting. One of the flashiest strikers in all of UFC history, honestly. He had a lot of potential. We really don't know just how good this man was. I really wanted to see him move up in that featherweight division. I think his last fight was against Calvin Kattar, which he won by decision. This man comes from Dagestan, and he's a phenomenal striker. Not the type of fighter you always see from the mountains of Dagestan. This dude was very exciting. Obviously, phenomenal striker. Great grappler as well. He put the dude in a banana split. Got the submission. But he was nasty on the mat too. I wish we could have seen him fight guys like Yair Rodriguez or Max Holloway. We didn't get to see him fight the best of the best, so we don't know exactly how good he was. But hey, you never know. He could have been champion. Now, would he have beat a guy like Alexander Volkanovski in his prime? Probably not, but we never know. That's why it's a what if. But the only problem I saw in this dude's game was that he had a little bit of a lack of cardio, but that definitely could have been related to his medical stuff. I don't know, but let's move on to the next one. We've got UFC 294. This one still haunts me to this day. Probably the saddest whole domino effect, honestly. This was the fight that was supposed to take place, but did not. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira 2. Now, I was really hyped up for this fight. Abu Dhabi, UFC 294, the rematch. And Charles Oliveira gets a nasty cut in training camp. A little bit less than 2 weeks out from the fight, I'm pretty sure, Charles Oliveira gets a cut, has to pull out of the fight, and then y'all know the rest of the story. In comes Alexander Volkanovski on short notice and got head kicked. Now, this was such a big domino effect because what if Alexander Volkanovski did not step in? What if Charles Oliveira was actually there to fight Islam? Would Charles have won this fight? Probably not, but this might have saved Volkanovski's career. Again, this is why this is a what if. Volkanovski could still be champion. Would he have still got knocked out by Ilia Topuria? Possibly, but we never know. But if Volkanovski were to go and beat Ilia Topuria, we would have probably got to see Islam versus Volk 2, both of them on full training camps, and we know that would have been a banger. The first fight between them was my favorite fight personally of all time. The second one could have been even better, who knows? We might have even seen Volk get the win. Probably not, but you know, maybe. But what if Charles Oliveira never got that cut, man? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We've got Dominick Cruz. What if Dominick Cruz stayed healthy? This man missed a big chunk of his prime due to so many injuries. I think he tore both ACLs. He had a groin tear. I want to say he broke his hand. I know he had a shoulder problem, but this man went through it all. This man missed so many years of his prime. A lot of people think he is the bantamweight GOAT. Some people don't. I think if Dominick Cruz would have stayed healthy, I think he would be the clear-cut #1 bantamweight. The bantamweight GOAT, probably a top 10 fighter of all time. But obviously, then again, more fights, he had more chances to lose. I don't think he would have. This man looked unstoppable in his prime. And this is coming from a TJ Dillashaw fan growing up. I wasn't the biggest fan of Dom Cruz, but you got to respect it. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people remember this dude from the Chito Vera knockout or the Cody Garbrandt domination. And guys, that's not the Dominick Cruz I know and love. This man actually was so special. I hate to see this happen to him, but that's why it's on here as one of the biggest what-ifs in UFC history. Moving on, I did this one for y'all. What if we got Khabib versus Tony Ferguson? Now, in my opinion, I really think Khabib would have smashed your boy. But then again, you never know. You know, Prime Tony, bro. Prime Tony was really good. He's a very interesting matchup for Khabib. You know, Tony Ferguson, a lot of people don't even realize this. Tony Ferguson is a phenomenal wrestler. Also a very crafty striker, honestly. He's always dangerous. He's not going to give up. You're going to have to put him to sleep. White tap, go sleep. I think Khabib would have won this fight pretty easily. But then again, you never know. This is why this is a big what if. A lot of fans out there think Tony Ferguson was going to be the one to beat Khabib. Definitely an interesting matchup. Definitely a fight we got robbed of. I know this fight was scheduled multiple different times and just did not work out. due to both guys pulling out due to COVID. But this would have been such a fun fight, but we never got it. So that's why I got it on here. All right, moving into the final one on my list, we've got Hamzat Chimaev. Now, I know this dude is still in the UFC, but he is turning into one of the biggest what-ifs in UFC history. Now, when Hamzat Chimaev came into the UFC, people weren't just talking about, oh, this dude's going to be champion. People were talking about this dude is going to be a triple champ. The hype was real on this dude. 2020 Hamzat Chimaev might be the scariest fighter of all time. This man was super active. He was wanting to fight all the time. He was fighting in welterweight, fighting in middleweight. He did not care. On top of that, he was running through everybody you put in his way. Obviously, until he got matched up with Gilbert Burns. That was a crazy fight. If this man did not have so many pullouts, and medical issues, this man would 100% be UFC champion. And maybe I'm coping for still thinking this, but I really think Hamzat Chimaev right now to this day has the talent and skills to beat the welterweight champion, who is now Belal Muhammad. I think he would beat Dricus du Plessis at middleweight. And I don't know if he beats Poatan, but if he gets that fight to the ground, he's got a pretty good chance. But this is such a waste of talent. I don't want to say waste of talent because it's not his fault. He's having health issues. But man, I want to see this dude have a title run for real. Hamzat Chimaev is a special type of fighter. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to realize that. But man, if this dude will stay healthy and actually fight, this dude is so special. All right, let me stop glazing. But this dude, for real, has all the tools to be champion. But that's going to be it for me. Y'all let me know in the comments which ones I missed. Let me know what you think would happen in these scenarios. And be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and we out.